What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Here I am in Tampa, Florida, city I've been to quite a few times here on my channel. I've done some videos just last year. I'm back again. It's 2024, and I'm here doing a video about Bray Wyatt, professional wrestler. I've gotten, when a celebrity passes, a well-known person, I get a lot of requests sometimes to go and do a video about them, and lots of times I'm not around where the person passed away, or it's too soon, or I don't have the information's private, things like that. And I try to do my best. When Bray Wyatt passed away, I think I get more requests every time I do a live chat to do something about Bray Wyatt. So I did a lot of investigating for this video. I'm going to explain what I did, how I figured out that the information online that a lot of people go to is incorrect. It says that he's buried in a cemetery north of here, and he's not. I'd like to give a little bit of background on Bray Wyatt in case you're not sure who he is. I'm more of a wrestling fan from back in the day. I definitely know his father and his uncle. His real name is Windham Rotunda, which would be taken from the name Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda, who were part of the U.S. Express in the 80s. I'll tell you a little bit more about his life, and I'm going to take you right over here. It's a very, very busy road. That's Dale Mabry Highway right there. It's very, very, very busy, very loud, so I'm kind of just trying to stay off on the side road here. So Windham Rotunda, otherwise known as Bray Wyatt, he came from a wrestling family, like I said. His grandfather was Blackjack Mulligan, who was actually buried at the Florida National Cemetery, which is not too far from here. I passed it just the other day. Video coming from there as well. His father was Mike Rotunda. His uncle was Barry and Kendall Windham. He joined the WWE in 2009. He had aliases. He was Alex Rotunda, Husky Harris, but then he became known as Bray Wyatt, and he was a WWE legend. He debuted as Bray Wyatt around 2012, and I think the shtick was kind of like a backwoods cult called the Wyatt family. I know there's a lot of wrestling fans that know a lot more about Bray Wyatt than I do. I'm just going off of what I've read. I'll get more into it because I've become more of a fan of his, definitely, since I've been reading more and watching clips of him. Pretty incredible guy. He would enter the ring in darkness, lit by the audience's phones, and carrying a lantern through a bunch of smoke. People really like this character, both in the ring and in the crazy promos. You know how the WWE, WWF, with the promos, they still call it WWF sometimes. He was a WWE champion, won that in 2017. Now I know that he, in 2019, he transformed into two new characters. He was a host of a children's program called the Firefly Funhouse, and the other called The Fiend, where he wore a clown mask. 21. Returned in 2022, but he only wrestled for a few months before he had to step away due to illness. So as we get closer to the highway, I'll talk a little louder because, as you can see, it's very, very, very busy. It's like it's about to rain pretty hard, and there is a funeral going on inside right now at Brewer & Sons here in Tampa. But it's August 24th, 2023. He's only 36 years old. He had a heart attack while he was asleep at his home in Clermont, Florida, a city I was just in a couple of days ago. His death was announced by Triple H following a phone call that he had received from Mike Rotunda. Again, it's a little loud. I have to walk back down. Now, he had been dealing with an illness since February of that year, February of 2023, which reportedly was life-threatening. And days before his death, reports were published stating that he was making progress in his recovery. And then shortly after his death, it was revealed that the illness was COVID. Then that exacerbated a pre-existing heart condition. He'd been hospitalized for a heart issue 1 week before his death and was advised to wear a defibrillator, but he wasn't wearing it at the time of his death. Police officers later found it in his car, and I believe he had just visited his doctor that morning, the same day, and he took a nap, and his alarm was going off, and his fiance, I I believe it was his fiance who ran upstairs and found him unresponsive. So he died in his Claremont home, a home that I know where it is, and I thought better of going to it because I'm sure his family still lives there and there are children, so I'm not going to put that on blast. You can Google it. There are many, many pictures. I'll put in a picture, but I didn't feel like going outside of their house and filming. It just seemed, when there's kids involved, and especially if the family still lives there, I want to keep that private for them. But like I said, there are photos, tons of photos online, so I don't feel bad putting a photo of the house, just not the location. Had to stop for a little bit due to that, which happens a lot here in this area of Tampa. There's been quite a few sirens going off. Here is Brewer & Sons Funeral Home in Tampa. Oh, he was born in Brooksville, Florida. It was about an hour and 20 minutes, I guess, north of here. And that's where Find a Grave, which is a completely reliable resource, says that he's buried in Brooksville Cemetery. He's not. He's not there. So I'll ask my friend Chris, who works to Find a Grave, maybe he can adjust that. Because now, I don't pretend to be in the know or that I've got connections or anything, but I did a lot of research trying to figure out, because I knew his grave wasn't there, and somebody helped me who was connected to the cemetery and a funeral home, and they told me exactly what happened with Bray Wyatt after he passed away. Sorry, somebody in the parking lot just staring at me. So yeah, this is information strictly from the cemetery, Brooksville Cemetery, and it makes a lot of sense because everything I've read, his funeral was in Tampa. He's not buried in Brooksville, where he's from. Brewer & Sons, that you see here behind me, the funeral home, there are quite a few. It's a chain, so to speak. There are quite a few of them. And there is one in Brooksville, but the funeral was not held there. It was held here in Tampa. And if you do enough digging online, you will find that his funeral was held here. He was cremated. His ashes are I assume, with his family. But there is no grave for Bray Wyatt. So a lot of people have asked me to go to his grave, pay tribute to him there, which I would love to do for the viewers, for his fans. But there is no grave for Bray Wyatt. So if you're watching this and you're going to go to Brooksville, you will not find him there. He was cremated here. And I have to say, I did go inside. There's a funeral going on right now. I know that they're not going to tell me here, specifically, at this location, if the funeral was here. You know, it was a private funeral. It wasn't open to the public. A lot of wrestlers were here, family, friends. It was a very, very packed service. But I went inside and asked anyway, and the funeral director informed me that no, it did not occur here. They're going to tell you that. I know that. But somebody else connected to the funeral home has assured me, and also at the cemetery, not to put anybody on blast. But yeah, this is where it was. This is where Bray Wyatt's funeral and where he was cremated. This is where it was held. This is where it was done. And very, very sad. Very, very young. So there it is. It's kind of a mystery for a lot of people. You're going to see a lot of fake funeral videos, always, of a celebrity when they die. There's a few fake ones of Bray Wyatt online, Windham, and it's so tacky. Don't watch any of those videos. They're not real. It was a private ceremony. There was no video footage of his funeral. There's no footage of people at his grave. I've seen some people putting that up. He doesn't have one. One thing I would assume why it was held here is this is more central for a lot of people. There are a lot of wrestlers that reside in the Florida area, And Brooksville is a little out of the way. There is a Brewer and Sons in Brooksville, but this is way more central and probably easier for the family. They live in Claremont to get over here, to have it here. And I'm assuming it's probably a bigger chapel inside. I saw inside, but I'm assuming this is a bigger than the Brooksville one, which is why probably they had it here. And it was delayed for a while because of the hurricane that was going through at the time. So they did delay the funeral by a few weeks. And as you can see, there is a hearse out front. Like I said, there is a service going on right now. Right in there. Probably on an off day, I could have, when there's no funeral going on, could have maybe filmed inside. Never know. But definitely not today. I think there's 1 or 2 chapels inside. But that would be for cremation right there. And from what I gathered, from what I could tell when I was inside, that is the main chapel right here, going back along. Walk around back again, take a look. But I was in there inside briefly, and they were very, very nice. But like I said, the funeral director answered my question with a stern, no, it was not held here. But I think differently. I know that it was. I'm not going on a guess really or an assumption. Not that I'm an expert, not that I'm infallible. If I was wrong, I would admit it. But anytime I've had to do other videos with a celebrity die, I wasn't sure. I've had to kind of go on gathering information, and I'm 100% certain that it was here. But yeah, that's the main chapel right there. They're coming out watching me filming, which is fine. So there's no real place for fans to go to pay tribute. There's nothing to hear, to see either. I would suggest watching videos of him. Maybe some old podcasts he was on. Something like that. And like I said, I've got the information pretty much on the best authority you can get. And if you Google, and if you continue to Google and different combination of words, you will find obituaries and you will find information that will lead you as well. If you go down a rabbit hole and kind of figure out and place things together, you will find that it was here at the Tampa location, and there is no grave. The part about the grave, thankfully somebody at the cemetery helped me out, and also another person connected to the funeral home, so I want to thank them, and no names. And again, there was just almost luck by these people answering my questions, and I do not pretend, I do not put on a facade that I'm in the know at all or whatever. I don't know any of Bray's family or anything like that, or any famous wrestlers. I don't. Just do a lot of research. So I'm glad I was able to do this for fans of Bray Wyatt. I know that on the, I guess it was August 25th, because he died on the 24th, but on the August 25th episode of SmackDown, they honored both Windham and Terry Funk, who died one day before Windham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt. And the show opened with a 10-bell salute for the two of them. So that's my video about Bray Wyatt that a lot of people asked me to do. I hope I was able to, if you don't know him, give you a little bit of information. WWE champion. It's incredible. A little bit of the backstory, but mostly about if you're coming down to Florida or you want to go visit his grave, that there is no grave to visit. And his family, I hope they're doing okay. He got a few kids, and little kids. It's sad. So rest in peace to Windham Rotunda, aka Bray Wyatt, and Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham, two of my heroes when I was little. When I was a little tiny kid, that's when I loved wrestling. And it's weird. Now I'm doing a video about Mike's son. Yeah, rest in peace. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.